you are.
You gents ready?
You gents.
Are they ready?
You're ready.
Oh. Okay. Good evening. Welcome to the Tuesday, July 12th, 2022 reorganizational meeting of the Board of Education. I need a motion for a call to order, please.
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Appointment of the clerk of the Board of Education and oath. I can read that, right? Be resolved that Marion Lawson be appointed clerk of the Board of Education for the 2022-2023 school year. And then I will administer the oath.
Need a motion.
Oh, sorry. Motion.
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
I, Marion Lawson, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of District Clerk of the Hampton Bays Board of Education, according to the best of my ability.
Blue or black? Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Okay, now we will move to the Pledge of Allegiance. Now that we have a clerk. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I believe everybody here is familiar with our emergency exits, so we'll move on to the administration of oath of office. And District Clerk gets to do that one.
Yep, we're gonna, you and both Mr. Springer and Mr. Joslin will take their oath of office for their reelection from May 2017.
I, Richard Joslin, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the Trust of Hampton Bays Board of Education, according to the best of my ability.
Okay, I need a motion.
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you, Rich.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Congrats.
I, Kevin Springer, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge duties of trustee of the Hampton Bays Board of Education. Okay, I need a motion.
Congratulations. Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. And now we move to the oath of the superintendent of school, Mr. Clemens.
Actually, we're gonna elect board officers, 3A.
Number 3.
Oh, I put it down differently, okay. I need a nomination for the president. I need a second.
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 Need a motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. We need a nomination for the vice president.
Mr. Joslin?
I need a motion.
Motion?
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. No nays? Motion passes. Okay, now, the clerk will administer the oath of faithful performance to the superintendent of schools, Mr. Clemenson.
I, Lars Clemenson, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of superintendent of schools according to the best of my ability.
I need a motion, please.
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed.
You just need to take the president and the vice president.
Didn't we just do that?
No, you
You
need to
did it.
sign it.
What's that?
You need to sign that.
Oh, oh.
Yes.
You did it as a board member and now.
Oh, I see.
This is your first time doing it.
A lot of signing.
I, Ken Springer, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of President of the Hampton Bays Board of Education.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Miss.
Very well.
Right there. I, Richard Joslin, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of Vice President of the Hampton Bays Board of Education, according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to you, Kevin,
Thank you, Richard, and you also.
and Lars.
Congratulations, Liz.
Thanks for keeping me.
Okay, now we can do a consent agenda from 4A to 4E. I need motion.
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. We will do consent from 5A to 5M. I need a motion, please.
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Then we will go to 6A, consent agenda from 6A to 6I. I need a motion.
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
You need to fill in or repeat.
Yeah, so facilities and operations last year were Mr. Springer, Mr. Joslin. Does anyone want to trade out, or do you want to, does anyone want to trade their committees for anything?
I do not want to trade my
No.
minute. I enjoy my committee.
Okay.
Thank
So,
you.
so facilities and operations will be Mr. Springer and Mr. Joslin. Athletics and co-curricular, the Scully and Mr. Springer. Curriculum and instruction, Ms. Colhin
Mr. Johnson.
and Mr. Joslin. And legislative and policy, Mrs. Capuano and Mr. Springer. Acceptable to all?
Yes.
Okay.
You get a good time.
Okay, so then I need to re-motion that one, please.
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, 7A and 7B is combined, so we'll do a motion for that.
Motion.
Need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Public comment, persons may address the Board of Education on any matters or interest of concern. The board president will recognize all speakers. Time limits may be proposed based upon agenda needs. Unless Larry has something you'd like to add, Larry? Okay, I need a motion.
Motion?
I need a second.
Second.
Okay, that motion passes. I need a motion to adjourn the reorganizational meeting.
Motion?
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, now we will move on to the July 12th, 2022 business meeting, which we will need a motion to call this meeting to order, please.
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. We will do the pledge again. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, emergency exits are still the same, so we're good there. And we will move to the clerk's report. Miss Marion.
Okay. Be it resolved that the Board of Education accepts the minutes of the business meeting held June 14th, 2022.
I need a motion.
Motion?
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, public comment speakers will be recognized wishing to address the board on agenda items only. We are good there. Okay, so we will start with Ms. Clemenson.
Good evening, everyone. Fairly short agenda report tonight, but happy summer. Summer school programs are off and running, so in the district, Hampton Bays Middle School serves as the primary location for our summer programs, although we do have driver's ed here in the air conditioning, and we have afternoon scope activity childcare at Hampton Bays Elementary School from 12 to 4. So families, that is a pay-to-play option. Families can opt into that. The majority of our kids, I believe, participate in summer school in the morning from 8:30 to 11:30. They receive a meal from 11:30 to 12:30 in the cafeteria at the middle school, and then they're escorted over to scope the rest of the day. So there are some kids spending the day very productively and having fun here from 8 to 4 in the afternoon. We have-
Kids we got?
How many? I'll get the exact number, 20, between 20 and 30 probably. The school is much bigger. It's kindergarten through 12th grade, enrichment, credit recovery, so kids who didn't, who need to pass a class and take a Regents exam in August. We'll also offer Regents prep classes in August for kids who aren't enrolled in summer school or don't have to be enrolled in summer school but want to give the Regents exam another shot in August. We have some sections where kids can come in for a few hours and bone up on the Regents before they get to take it again in August. We have summer music program going on, professional development, curriculum writing, which incorporated into tonight's recommendations in resolutions. So Dr. Carlson oversees the curriculum writing process, and curriculum writing takes a couple of different phases. So from the very first scope and sequencing, it's only about 5 hours worth of work for a teacher to go through, not just necessarily what that teacher teaches, but the whole course. So if there are multiple teachers teaching third grade phonics, for example, a primary teacher is going to take care of that project and develop that scope and sequence. Then they get into unit planning and curricular material development, and then a review process at the end. So Mr. Carlson has a number of different projects at different points along that spectrum. As the summer concludes, he'll have a report for the board as well. We're in the process of wrapping up hiring. I'd like to welcome both Mr. Morgan, who has started full-time with us July 1st. You all met him in June. He was present. He come back to Hampton Bays from the New York City Department of Education, so he's hit the ground running with master scheduling, some hiring for leave replacements at the high school, and getting to know the staff and faculty as they're coming in throughout the summer, and kids as well. Dr. Della Speranza will serve in an interim assistant principal role for Mrs. Fox, who will have maternity leave coming up. They welcome their new baby later this summer. So we're excited to have Dr. Della Speranza come across the parking lot from the STEAM lab. He changes out his white lab coat for a blue sports coat, the uniform of an administrator, and he'll be with us through the new year, through the new calendar year, when we anticipate Mrs. Fox will be back. Today, had the opportunity to connect with Mr. Carlson, who was participating with a team of our teachers at Stony Brook University, participating in the News Literacy Annual Conference. Hampton Bays was highlighted as a lighthouse district this year, and two of our teachers, Mrs. Kelsch and Mrs. Epstein, both presented this afternoon on the work that Hampton Bays is doing with news literacy. We've presented on that in the past, creating lit news consumers in our kids. And so Hampton Bays has taken the ball, and really with that, I'd like to congratulate them on that presentation today. Construction is also underway in the district, so a lot happens behind the scenes. Our tech team is here, so that when you see their hands in the wires, pulling, tweaking, fixing, upgrading, that happens every summer, but then this summer we have a couple projects that you really only see once in a generation. So the high school locker rooms are fully demolished and underway for the fall. We'll go right up to Labor Day with that. So we've let our coaches know summer practices that kids will not be storing their things in lockers, because the locker room, we're going to take every minute we can this summer to make sure the locker rooms are set. And we're taking that extra time because there are some additional enhancements to the HVAC system that once we were in the project, we realized this is our opportunity, or we knew, but we said this is our commitment to doing this now and not having to get back in there and make sure that the HVAC system is exactly what it needs. We had the funds for that through grant funding and through the sieving, essentially, of the Proposition 2. So these are not additional tax impacts on our community. This is money that has been planned for, and we've been looking forward to the renovation of this space for a long time. And then the elementary school roof, the 1957 wing and the 1998 wing. Those are the back wings. What we commonly know as the second hallway and the third grade hallway are getting full roof replacements. The main chunk of the building where we have the new multi-purpose room and kitchen, they had a roof replacement. And then in the future, we'll call the 1968 wing, which we commonly refer to as the kindergarten wing. So a lot of work happening on all the campuses as well, and our custodial team, I don't even think the tent was down before the classrooms were emptied. Oh, and the tennis courts. So later this month, the elementary school tennis courts will be closed for 2 weeks. July 18th through August 1st for resurfacing and repainting of those tennis courts. Before you blink of an eye, they're 10 years old already, or almost 10 years old. So we do the maintenance now, and they become 20 and 30 years old. And so we'll put that signage up. We do know that the community in the summertime really does make great use of those courts. So Gene, Mr. Buxton will be holding contractors to that window to get them in and out as quickly as possible to do the job right. We can't do it during the year because it's winter time, and then on the shoulder months, we have our teams playing on them. So this is really the window to get it done quickly.
Are we directing them over to here?
These courts will remain open, right?
These courts are over to Spring, but there is
Pickleball.
hoop playing, and these courts are actually too small for true tennis. You could against the wall, or you could play short court or something.
Right.
They're really not enough for true tennis.
We'll have signage that invites people to check out Red Creek Park, where they have the 7 courts. The pickleball world and the tennis world are like the Sharks and the Jets. So we don't want to mix here. They're welcome here, but this pickleball territory on Argonne Road. Okay, so in the process of hiring staff as well and getting them onboarded. Our next board meeting is August 23rd, so by then we will have our whole slate of curricular appointments tonight. We're recommending that you appoint our fall slate of coaches. Practice begins August 25th, I believe it is. No, I'm sorry, August 22nd. Right around there. But in the meantime, we'll have sports physicals. There's some open gyms time take place for all of the teams, and looking to get our kids back on fields and the courts right at the end of August. So by the time we come back together again, we'll be looking to start the year. We'll have our final list of personnel appointments, and then right the week after, that last week going into Labor Day is when we have our new teacher orientation. We spend 2 days with our new teachers, and then Superintendent's Conference Day. We have back-to-back Superintendent's Conference Days this year, August 31st and September 1st. We hit the ground running on September 6th, on Tuesday, with kids. I'll mention this a few times during the year. Our calendar is built with one snow day. We're not thinking of that on July 12th, but it is built with one snow day. So New York State has made the accommodation that we can go remote if we use more than one snow day. I can imagine we would in the schedule that Mr. Carlson and the team have built. A reason why we might not go remote is if there are major outages, if there was a blizzard or something like that, and kids and staff couldn't access the remote model. Otherwise, that seems to be a flexibility that worked in the short-term period. We don't want long closures, but a day here, it's a little bit of a truncated day, and then kids can still enjoy some snow and hot chocolate, but there's one snow day built in there. That looks to be it in terms of a big report tonight. We'll be working with the town we'll be submitting a letter to the town to ask them to consider a parking change on Gravel Hill and using the presence of the school district in the neighborhood. We do have kids who are not supposed to be driving to school and not supposed to be parking there. So a change to parking, no parking on one side of the street during school hours is something that's been discussed over the course of the year just to promote safety on Gravel Hill. So we'll submit that letter. And then we also recently submitted a letter to a New York State recreational grant by the New York State Economic Development Council in support of the Southampton Town Aquatic Recreation Center, STAR Center, applying for funding for a pool in Southampton Town. Originally, that pool was intended for the Red Creek Park area. The location has since been shifted east of the canal near the in the Tuckahoe community. We're not commenting on anything like that. We're commenting on if there's going to be a pool, swim teams could take advantage of that. Additional swimming lessons, swimming safety are all important things, and that state grant money would be great to have to help our local community do that. It's my understanding that because the Suffolk County Community College pool is in Riverside, which is town of Southampton, we now have a facility west of the canal, and we'd have one east of the canal kind of serving everyone. So we understand that. But that letter was admitted as well. If there are no other questions, I'll wrap that up as my report and wish everybody a happy summer. We had a really strong end to the school year, exciting and happy graduation ceremonies. I thank you all for your participation in that. The class of 2022 was a great class and a really great celebration, and 121 minutes on the head for the ceremony, so for a class of 204. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clemenson. All right, Larry, good this evening?
Just a quick update, Mr. Springer, on the auction we held on the disposal of things. The Gator and the red pickup truck, the old pickup truck, both were bid on, and we have deals on those. The white van, there's not a deal on. We're going to be putting it on Auctions International, and we're going to set up a floor price of $35,000 as minimum, as long as the board is fine with that.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, we will do the consent agenda from 4A to 4D, unless there's any questions.
Motion.
Any second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
5A is on its own, approval of CSE and CPSE services. I need a motion. I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Personnel is 6A to 6K. We need a motion.
Motion.
We need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Okay, on 7A is by itself. Public hearing.
Motion.
Need a second?
Actually, you're going to open the public hearing.
Oh, I am going to open it. Okay. I need a motion to open it then.
Yep.
Okay, I need a motion to open it.
Motion.
I need a second. Okay. And public hearing on school emergency response plan, ERP, and school district code of conduct.
I could speak to this. So the public notice went into the paper in June announcing the public hearing tonight. That's an annual requirement by law.
Right.
The district code of conduct, I'll start with, which is our, it is what it is. It says code of conduct. It is a lengthy document that outlines the expected behaviors of everybody on campus who interacts with school, from students to faculty, staff, administrators, school board members, visitors, parents, and outlines infractions and what consequences would be to that. A change that was made to the district code of conduct over the last couple of years and remains in here is a commitment, the district's commitment to restorative practices, so that traditional discipline isn't always the outcome for a kid. When there's a commitment between the child and the parent and the school to learn to use an infraction or a mistake as a learning and a teachable moment, that solves the problem. So the goal of a code of conduct is to correct a behavior or stop a negative behavior and promote a positive behavior. If a restorative process does that, then boom, we're done. If not, then kids would experience what we call progressive discipline, where things get progressively stricter or more responsive over time. So I thank the Board of Education for that commitment, because school is the safety net where kids can make mistakes, and if we can restore the practice, restore and give the restorative justice opportunity for kids, then hopefully that mistake is something in the rearview mirror, and life goes on for both that child in school and out of school. The public hearing allows this to sit for 30 days now. We'll fully adopt that code of conduct at the August meeting. It goes in its agenda. Every child signs for it. It is sent home as a link to all parents as well, so everybody has a copy of, and anybody who has comments on what a code of conduct should include, or any thoughts, can email Mrs. Lawson at mlawson@hbschools.us. The school safety plan is also an annual requirement. The district safety plan is an extensive document that is not publicly disclosed, because it is the safety plan that has codes and scripts and evacuation routes and procedures if there was an emergency. What is public and linkable on this agenda here tonight on our website are the commitments that we make to school safety. So how we approach risk reduction. So we train risk reduction. We train kids what to do. We train staff what to do when faced with a challenge. We train on how to shelter in place, how to evacuate, how to hold in place. So a shelter in place is if there is a bad person doing a bad thing and we are in a lockdown situation. A hold in place would be, for an example, a pit bull or no shame to pit bulls, a dog, an aggressive dog comes onto campus, and we lock the doors. We don't let any in or out until animal control can take care of that, because there's a situation. But we can move freely through the building. There's no imminent threat to where we need to secure ourselves or evacuate or hide, essentially. So Mr. Farrar oversees our school safety plan and will engage school safety committee, which will be representatives of the buildings, PTA, the PTO, the PDSA. We have some parents who want to have that conversation later this summer. Certainly 2022 is a challenge in terms of the mood of our country, and so the school safety plan, the fact it's a living document, we're reminded of that. So visitors to campus, how we identify one another, what tools we have in place. In June, I participated in a city event with Governor Hochul signing Alyssa's law, so one-button lockdowns. Those are all elements of our safety plan, again, that are confidential by law, because those are the tools that we have to keep students and staff safe. You put that in the time frame of coming out of COVID, when there's a real desire by our whole school community to get back into school and get back to normal again, and you have to mitigate that against just throwing the doors wide open and coming, you have to remember the safest a school ever was during COVID, because nobody was in, nobody was out, right? But now that life is coming back to normal, school isn't a jail and school isn't a lockdown cell. It's a place with book fairs and concerts and VIP grandma teas and things like that are important to the process for kids. The school safety plan helps put the guardrails in place so that we can, to the extent possible, keep people as safe as possible. So again, comments will be live for 30 days before that plan is finalized and submitted to the New York State Safe Schools Division. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I need a motion to close that public hearing. I need a second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Aye, motion passes. Consent from 7B to 7C. I need a motion.
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Public comment, persons may address the Board of Education on any matters of interest or concern. The board president will recognize all speakers. Time limits may be imposed based upon agenda needs. I think we're all good on that tonight. With that, we need a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting. I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy your summer.
Yes.